Alright, this is part 2 on the iPad, dealing with aviation websites and how they behave within the perfect browser that I've been using on this iPad. What I have on the screen now is basically the website that I use prior to departure for my graphical needs for briefing. As we all know, it's not a formal briefing, but it is a graphical one that helps, at least for me, decide go, no go on the day of departure. So I just want to go through a couple screens just so you can see what it looks like on the iPad and how it behaves accordingly. So if I just clicked on SIGMET AirMet in a graphical, or let's say graphical AirMet, see what that does. So it is usable. Haven't really tried this, so this will be a kind of a first one for me to see how it does behave. At least you know if it's broken or not broken. So let's see what the ceilings and visibility does. Seems to work okay. Does pull up the information I'm looking for. There's a turbulence report. It's kind of a toggle thing. If I didn't want the ceilings, and just turn that off. Surface winds. So this looks like it works well with the iPad and this particular browser. Don't know about Safari. It might behave differently. Probably won't behave at all because there is Java involved. So basically, like I said, I use this website for my graphical needs. Immediately before departure, I'll hit up on this for my graphical needs. Now what I'm going to go over the next few websites are my actual flight planning and also formal flight briefing. Most of my work is actually done through Duet, and what I've done is I've logged in already to save time, and the screen's probably nothing more than you already know on the desktop. I've set up a couple requests and had to practice it actually before starting this video because it does behave a little bit differently than the desktop browser as far as behavior from what you input and where the results end up going. So for example, tomorrow I tend to go to Meridian, and I just put today's date for now just so I can get some type of results rather than flight planned too far in advance. I did put in for KMBO to KMBI, so I put a check mark there and I submit it, and what this does is it pops up on a new window, a new tab of the browser, and it gives me the briefing. So that's pretty much normal from my desktop. What I do like about the simplicity of the desktop is that normally when I hit Flight Planner or File Domestic, it pops up in the same window. On this particular browser, when I hit Flight Planner, it's actually loading up in my original tab. So I have to go back to the original tab, comes up with the data. Now if I select my tomorrow's plane, comes up with the data, and then when I submit request, it goes yet to another tab, and it opens up here the tab. So this will be what the flight planner looks like. Nothing different than the desktop. We'll close that for simplicity. And now if I go to File Domestic, again it's loading up in my original tab rather than the current window, and it pulls up all the information. Of course, I did change my cell phone number. I didn't need to publish that to the world. And then of course, if I wanted to complete the rest, I would just pipe in the appropriate entries and then continue on. So the keyboard, as you see, is a monstrous keyboard compared to the iTouch. Also compared to a regular keyboard too. It's almost a little bit easier. It's about the same size typing it that I find the QWERTY keyboard. It's a nice setup. It's just very, very clunky. I don't see this ever replacing a desktop or a laptop because of the clunky interface. There's no real tab key going field to field that I can see. I haven't played around long enough with it. So that's what pretty much the flight plan looks like, entering the data. If I was to submit it, it would of course submit an actual flight plan, which I do not want to do. So I'm going to just hit the back button here. And this is pretty much what Duets looks like. It's fast. Again, this is one thing I like about this iPad. It is fast. So in this particular program, this is what, like I said, I do my primary flight briefing because it's formal. It goes on record. I filed a briefing, and I usually get my standard briefing and any other flight planning. All my inputs are recorded for FAA purposes. The actual flight plan, it is convenient to do it here, but I've been, as of late, going through Flight Aware. Now, I have already filled in some of the data to save time for tomorrow departure time. As you can see, 17 hours from now, KMBO to KMEI, and if I hit continue, of course you see the typical hold is clear as publish. I did run into a little bug earlier with this one, but it seems like it is working now. The first time I ran this, it wouldn't come up with the track, but it is coming up with the track, and it is quick. The benefit of this is that I call it instant gratification. When I file the plan, it shows up in FlightAware immediately as scheduled. So if I file it within 24 hours, if I go to my tail number, it actually does show up immediately. So I do like that instant gratification, whereas with Duet, it shows up in a different section and it's not transmitted to the FAA, just like FlightAware, until an hour before flight time. So if I wanted to see what the navigation log looked like on FlightAware, pretty sure it'll come up. Guess not. Let's see. Don't want to proceed. Oh, okay, tell me to read here. I need to pick a route. Got to read first. Now view. Click an option and tab and select your route and altitude. Okay, so it's telling me what to do. Hello. Alright, pick the 2. Now I'm going to view my nav log. And let's see. There it goes. I didn't push hard enough. Didn't detect my fingertip. And this is what the nav log looks like on FlightAware. So you can see FlightAware is user friendly in the respect it does tell you, hey, dummy, fill in what you need, make the selection. So a perfect example on how this works. So that's FlightAware. Flight plan users will see something like this, and pretty much it's the same as the desktop, and it is fast. Gives you everything you want to know with flight plan. And if I wanted to save, I could save it through flight plan or wins aloft matrix. Just get a feel for what flight plan can offer. By no means a instructional guide, but just again kind of a flavor of what each website will display. So if I request the weather, pops up a new window in the flight plan, and sure enough gives me everything I want to know within the website. Excuse me. AirNav I use a lot because it's simple. I know this information is available on just about every other website. FlightAware has this information, but certain things I just, you don't change because it works. So this I like because it also, again, FlightAware has this as well as Duet and probably Flight Plan, but I like getting my approach plates from this website, and it displays real nice and real clear. So VR Bravo. See, real clear, crystal clear, and ideally, I don't feel like taking up the iPad and turning it 90 degrees, but it displays better up and down in full screen, and you can see the full approach plate. So for purposes of instrument approaches, this would be outstanding. So hopefully this is a good overview of the various websites. Again, not instructional by any means, but just a brief overview of each website. So see, I'm getting along with this video, 9 minutes. I was hoping to do it in 8. Didn't happen, but hopefully people find this useful and how the iPad displays the various websites. Thanks for watching.